Hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
Parashat Behar Bechukotai. These two parashot finish the book of Vayikra, Leviticus. We have Parashat Behar and we have Parashat Bechukotai. The first parasha starts with Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe Behar Sinai. And God spoke to Moshe in Har Sinai. And the second parasha starts Im Bechukotai Telechu, if you will follow my rules.
And in Behar and Chukotai, as you said, we read it here together, it has many, many rules and also a lot of curses. And the question is why curses, even exist. And what is it exactly, what is a curse and what is a blessing? And in order to understand that, we need to understand also what is true happiness. Because we go through life, and when you look at most of the world, you see people that they think that happiness is only by what you have, means how much money you have, power, influence, big house, and so on, right? And if you think about it, all these things which are very good, they're very, very physical. They belong to the physical world, to the world of our senses. And when we're looking at it, it's like we're deciding what is happiness based on materialism and based on things that they have expiration date. Means if something is giving me true happiness, it should last. But if all these things are giving me very temporary happiness, something there is wrong. So, of course, it's better to be happy and rich than poor and miserable. Don't get us wrong. But to really, really understand what is happiness, we have to look at our lives and to see that everyone around us are always in that race to get the next thing, the next new gadget, the next new phone, the next new something that will give us the pleasure and will give us what we call the fulfillment. Because if not, we feel empty inside. But again, if this is true joy, why are we so busy looking for the next, stimulation? Because it's not real. And true happiness comes from spirituality. And when we understand that the real happiness comes from above, comes from Hashem, then we can still go shopping, we can still go get nice clothes, we can still get nice gadgets, but we know that this is not what's going to make us truly happy. It's just fun. It's just another nice toy in God's playground. And that's why sometimes in life, we feel that we get some negativity, some curses, because that's the way to show us that we kind of went off track. What we do in this world is a cause and effect. God does not want to punish us. There's no real punishment. It's just a cause and effect. If I plug my finger into electricity and I get burned, it's not because the electricity company wanted to burn me or to harm me or to punish me. It's because I didn't use right the light that I was given. The precious light, positive energy that God trusted me to have inside me, I didn't use that in a right way. And when we understand that it's okay, it's good to have these things, but it cannot control us, and it's not what's going to give us happiness, then we're going to seek truly for the spiritual path. And that's how we will find out what's our destiny in this world and what we came to do. And that's why in this parasha, even though it shows those rules and those even curses, it also gives us very powerful tools of how to purify ourselves, how to work on ourselves, to get to like the last war of spirit over matter. And with that, this parasha talks about what we call a Shemitah, the sabbatical year, and the Shnat Yovel, the year of Jubilee.
Vayikra 25 verse 4, Leviticus 25 verse 4. We have the Shemitah. The Torah talks about the Shemitah, but what is the Shemitah? Let's take you to Shabbat. On Shabbat, we need to rest. We work for 6 days, and God commands us to rest on the 7th day. The same rules, but a little bit different, apply for the land. We have rules for Shemitah. We can work the land for 6 years. We can grow our whatever we want on those fields. And on the 7th year, we're not allowed to grow anything. This year is called Shemitah. Now, the Shemitah is basically disconnecting from the world of Malchut, from the world of the physical world, every 7th year. Then we're stopping to work the land on the 7th year. And the Zohar explains that the land of Israel, the Shemitah applies to the land of Israel. The land of Israel is the heart of the world, and Jerusalem is the heart of the world. And of course, therefore, we will never give up Jerusalem. But the heart, it works so hard for 6 years, and on the 7th year, it has to rest. Can't run. It's something very, very spiritual. Now, Rabbi Nachman of Breslov is explaining that the Shemitah sounds very unreasonable. To leave your field in the middle of working, and the 7th year not to work. The Shemitah is much more important to the owner of the field, actually, than to the field itself. Rabbi Nachman is writing to the owner of the field and tell him, you're not a slave for your field. You're the owner of the field. You're the owner of faith. You're a slave to God. God gives you sustenance. In other channels, more than your field, be open to God. And then the person will ask, but what do I do? No, God will take care of you. And then we ask ourselves, okay, so right now a lot of us, we don't live in Eretz Israel. What do? We don't have field. So Rabbi Nachman answers. Look at it like you have a flower bed of needs and worries. It's a very hard work that we're working with it all year long, all our life. But can we give away our worries? Can we give away our stress? Give away our pursuing after matter? Just if we're going to take a real Shemitah on ourselves and experience it in sense, with faith, we'll understand that it feeds us more than any food, and it gives us more parnasa to our life, and it gives us more stability than any anchor. Faith.
Behar means in the mountain. We're talking here about the mountain that is Mount Sinai, where the Torah was given. And there's a saying in Hebrew, Ma inyan shmita lehar Sinai. It means what does Shemitah has to do with Mount Sinai? And when you look at it, you're right, there's no connection. But when we really understand that Shemitah means to let go, to really let go, and not to let go because someone stole it from you or took it away from you. It's because you are the owner of, your fears. They don't control you. You can be the owner of your field, the owner of the movie that your life is going through right now. And to let go means that you're looking in, just like you said, into your own field, into your own garden, and seeing what negativity you collected in the past years. And when we read about it here, whether it's a Shnat Shemitah or not, a year of Shemitah or not, we can drop all negativity that we collected that is holding us back and preventing us from letting go of what's keeping us behind, clinging to what we believe that should bring us happiness, and every time it brings us disappointment and pain. It's time to be connected to true freedom. And Mount Sinai was chosen. You know, every place we go has a tikkun. Just like we talked about a few parashot ago, a few lectures ago, about our own personal tikkun. Also, when we move, for example, to a new house, to a new place, to a new city, to a new state, to a new land, there's a special correction, a special tikkun for the place, the new place that we're moving in. And we're taking some of that correction with us. Some places we stay for a few months, some places we stay for years, some places we stay for almost a lifetime. In every place, it's a tikkun that has to, to be corrected. The place has to be corrected, and our souls have to be corrected there. So Mount Sinai had to be chosen. It's not, let's walk in the desert. Where are we going to give the Torah on? Oh, now I know this is the closest mountain. Let's just do it there. No. And the Midrash talks about it, that Mount Sinai was chosen not because it was the highest mountain or the strongest mountain or the most beautiful mountain. It was actually not the tallest one. But it says there that it had humbleness. Even mountains, rocks, plants, they all have souls. And Mount Sinai wanted to have the Torah on him. Everyone wanted. But it didn't feel he's worth it enough. Again, he's not perfect. But God chose to put it there because that land had humbleness and purification in it. And it turned to be the most pure and elevated place in the whole world. And in the Midrash, they explain that as soon as Mount Sinai got the news that the Torah is going to be given on him, immediately he started blossoming in the middle of the desert with the most beautiful flowers. And it became the most beautiful mountain in the world. So now we see that humbleness and purification and letting go can really bring us to true freedom, to true understanding of what happiness is all about, and help us to see beyond the immediate pleasure. And again, you should have happy life means, again, you can buy all the toys you want, but always be kind. Always be mindful of other people. Always be humble. Always do your best to take care of the people around you. See them. There's so many people walking around us and it feels like they're clear. We don't see them. We don't feel their pain. Why do you think Hashem put us in this world? We have to do our job. And every one of us have a beautiful, beautiful soul in it, waiting to just get out and do the right thing that they came to do in this world. And when each and every one of us fight darkness and expand the light, and you do not need to turn someone else's light in order to expand your own light. That's another thing. We become a critical mass of pure light. And this by itself will break all darkness. You know, a light bulb, it doesn't think about how I'm gonna light. It just acknowledges that it's light and it just shines from her. Acknowledge you are all pure light. Let it shine.
In Leviticus 26, verse 44 to 45, God is saying that He will never cancel the covenant with the people of Israel. He will never cancel the covenant He made with Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. He will never forget that He brought us from Egypt. God showed the nations of the world that He is the God of the people of Israel, God that created the world. And even though in every generation, nations of the world try to harm us, God always saves us. And the covenant with God and the people of Israel is eternal. The last parsha ends the book of Vayikra, Leviticus. At the end of the parsha, when you hear it in the synagogue, everybody rises and will say, Chazak, 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 V'nitchazek. Thank you.
Bye-bye.